What's up everybody, it's Jim, and in this video I've made a thread which is the 60s and 70s music thread. This is of course for the members of the vinyl community, and there are in total 10 questions, 5 on the 60s and 5 on the 70s. And for the 60s and 70s, they're the same lot of questions. If you're part of the vinyl community and you have your own YouTube channel, I'd really appreciate it if you would hop on to this thread. And if you have a 60s and 70s music thread for me, please link it in the comment section below. I've also got the rules for this, which does include questions/prompts for this video, and all of that is in the description below. Now let's get to it with the 1960s. So the first question for the 60s is, if you could travel back in time and see a 60s band or artist in concert, who would it be? And for me, it's the Beatles. Even though there would be a lot of screaming girls, I'd still want to see my favourite band of all time in concert. The next question/prompt is my favourite 60s song, and for me, it's Golden Slumbers Carried Away in the End by the Beatles, which is from the 1969 Abbey Road album. But if you think that's cheating, then I'll go with In My Life by the Beatles, which is from the Rubber Soul 1965 album. And I've mentioned both of those songs several times on my channel. The third thing is show a 60s vinyl or CD, and I'm going to show you my vinyl of Magical Mystery Tour by the Beatles, which came out in 1967. I recently bought this vinyl and I'm really glad I did, because I love the booklet it came with, and it was all presented very well, and the music on it is excellent too. Fourth thing is, if you can meet any solo music artist of the 60s, then who would it be? And for me, it's John Lennon. I've gone with a lot of Beatles answers for this video. Ideally, I would see the Beatles in concert and then speak to John Lennon afterwards. Fifth and final thing for the 60s is my favourite year of music for that decade, and for me it's 1969. That year has got so many incredible albums, so many incredible songs, and it even has my favourite album being Abbey Road by the Beatles. That's it for the 60s, and let's answer these questions for the 70s. So if you could travel back in time and see a 70s band or artist in concert, then who would it be? And for me, it would be Paul McCartney and Wings. Ideally seeing them on the Wings Over America tour. In terms of my favourite 70s song, for me, I'm going to go with Imagine by John Lennon. A song that means a lot to me as well as to other people, and it's a song I'll never get tired of. Next thing is show a 70s vinyl CD, and for me, I'm going to show you Madman Across the Water by Elton John. This is an original one from 1971, and if you've not heard this Elton John album, I highly recommend to listen to it, as it's one of his best in my opinion. It's also got Elton John's classic song, Tiny Dancer. Of course, next thing is, if you could meet any solo music artist of the 70s, then who would it be? And for me, I will go with my favourite guitarist of all time, being Jimi Hendrix. And if I did get to meet him, I would hope he'd play a guitar solo for me. Of course, the fifth and final thing is my favourite year of music in the 70s, and this is my favourite year of music as a whole, which is 1971. Yes, that's the year that Madman Across the Water by Elton John came out, but you had so many other classic albums coming out that year and so many classic songs. You can't really go wrong with the year 1971 in terms of music. But that's it for this thread, and I really appreciate it if you would do your own thread of this and link it in the comment section below. I also appreciate you watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and comment. Until next time, peace and love, and ciao.